What up, gamers? Welcome back to Kaboom!
Kaboom!
We're back with yet another exciting video for you. But before we dive in, make sure to smash that subscribe button, and some random guy might just drop a brand new Xbox Series X on your doorsteps. Have you already checked the Kaboom membership on our channel? For a small amount, you can get a Kaboom badge and cool emoticons. I'm sure most of you have grown up playing a ton of FPS games over the years, and I'm not even talking about games like PUBG or Fortnite. You know why? Because these games don't capture the soul of FPS gaming like the good old Call of Duty series do. Or did, at least. Call of Duty has always been the best when it comes to realistically hardcore FPS gaming experience that takes you all the way back to the brutal realities of World War II. And now with another COD title knocking the door, here's everything we know about Call of Duty Vanguard. A nostalgic hit? When we talk about FPS games, and particularly the ones that incorporate the elements of a world war, there is no other franchise that does half as decent job as Call of Duty. This military-based first-person shooter series has consistently been releasing new action-packed games for a long time. And when a formula works out well for game developers like it did with Call of Duty, they love to expand on it for a variety of reasons. For one, it's working and players are loving it, and they would love to jump on the next one. And two, it's also way better to just expand on a working formula than to come up with a completely new game idea from scratch and make it work. Like they say, don't fix something that's not broken. And for a very long time, CODs have managed to grasp the players for its brutal yet realistic gunfight, breathtaking visuals, and highly addicting storylines. And the latest addition to the COD franchise seems like another try at giving out a nostalgic hit. But is it? Let's find out. First thoughts. Call of Duty has been experimenting and exploring its way around other historical wars other than World War II for a while. But with Activision's new title Vanguard, Call of Duty is getting back to its roots, to the events of the Second Great War. But unlike many other CODs released back in the days, Vanguard is expanding the borders of the event this time furthermore. In Vanguard, the players will be playing across 4 theaters of war, including both the eastern and western fronts of Europe, alongside the South Pacific and North Africa, which is more than what we got to experience back in the Call of Duty World War II. To define this game in the simplest words, Vanguard feels like a balanced combination of both modern warfare and World War II. And while the game is still in beta and set to be released by the end of this year, I personally think of it as just another COD game with nothing to feel too excited about. However, let's jump into the gameplay to find out if it's really worth getting into. Gameplay. As far as Vanguard's gameplay is concerned, these are 2 things that we really need to get into. One is the single-player story mode, and the other is multiplayer mode. First, let's talk a bit about the single-player campaign. According to what we know so far from the developers and some of the major gaming sites, Vanguard does take us back to the events of World War II, but it also adds in its own fictional twists and turns to make it somewhat different from other COD games. You'll get to fill in the shoes of one of the 4 main protagonists in the series, each one of them being a part of elite forces from different allied nations coming together to form a special combat team by the end of the war. Vanguard kinda expands on the events of COD World War II and gives it a more fictional touch with how the stories of each of the protagonists unfolds during the war. Keeping in mind that it's a Call of Duty we're talking about, there will be both chaos and stealth play deep-rooted in the game. And according to the developers, we'll be seeing more plot-changing twists in the game where our actions will have a significant impact. But that's enough talking about the campaign mode. What about the multiplayer?
Whatever it takes. I'm out. No!
Well, as far as the multiplayer goes, there are a lot of changes from the past COD games. Some for the good, while others not so much. Vanguard multiplayer mode will be coming out with a staggering number of 20 different maps. That's just way beyond the scope of any other COD game till date. But But don't get your hopes up just yet, because these maps come at a hefty price of excluding many popular and loved multiplayer modes, like the Ground Wars or the Fire Team, and that's just not the trade I'm willing to make. Are you? On the bright side, Vanguard comes jam-packed with a ton of World War II automatic weapons at your disposal, and a lot of destructible elements in the game. However, I think that unlike many other COD games, Vanguard focuses more on chaotic fights with little to no stealth gameplay, and for someone like me who loves to be strategic about gunfights, it's kinda disappointing. But then again, it all comes down to personal preference, and there's a lot that we still don't know about the game at the moment. One of the things that I'm excited to see in the multiplayer is the new Champion Hill mode, which will be a mix of Battle Royale and Modern Warfare's gun mode, where 8 teams will come face to face to be the last team standing. However, we'll have to wait to see how things turn out when the game is finally released, especially for PC. For now, the plethora of maps combined with some new and borrowed elements seem like doing a good job overall. But as I stated earlier, there's nothing to be too excited about. Most of it we've already seen or experienced in past CODs, and this feels just like another COD. Is it going to be the new big thing? Call of Duty has a huge fan base. There's no doubt about it. But according to what we've observed from the players' reviews so far, both old and new alike, I think a lot of people are not too excited for this game. But then again, Vanguard is still in beta and things can drastically change over time. And by the time we get to the release date, our opinions might change as well. There's just so much that we still don't know about the game, and Vanguard might still have a bunch of tricks up its sleeves. Let me know what you guys think about this new addition to COD's Legacy down in the comments. Check out this video. It's specially selected for you. You'll like it.